I had just had sex for the first time. I won't say I lost my virginity because some really wise men had told me a few years before that a man is never a virgin. And I believe them and I lived by that. You can call that toxic masculinity or whatever you want, but that was just my reality. So everything was awkward since it was my first time. It was sloppy and it was just bad. But it was my first experience, so it was great for that matter. I didn't tell this girl it was my first, but I'm sure she noticed based on how I was doing things. So we are done and we are already dressed back up, and then she's like, "How was it? Did you enjoy it?" I'm like, "It was great. It was the greatest thing I have ever experienced." It wasn't that great. Let me be honest. The part where I had an orgasm is probably the best part of it, which lasted only 3 or 4 seconds. So it wasn't as great as I expected, but all it was great. I enjoyed it. You were great and everything, and all the shenanigans. Yeah, and then she's like, what do you think of me down there? How big am I?" So I had read on online forums that women ask these tricky questions, questions that have a right answer. I know there is an answer they expect, and they will get offended you give them the wrong answer. So I thought about it for a couple seconds. I didn't want to look like I was thinking too much. So I came up with an answer like, yeah, it's quite small, very nice to be in there. I think she was offended by that for some reason. I don't know, based on her next comment. Or maybe she thought she was giving me a compliment. I really don't know to this day. She's like, you actually smaller than my boyfriend down there. I know. I said yours is small, but that was a compliment. You telling me mine is small is not a compliment. I was not aware of it. I had not known how big or small mine is because no one had ever commented on it. I had watched adult content online, but from the screen it's hard to tell what size exactly it is based on where they are. So first of all, I was bamboozled by the fact that she had a boyfriend. I didn't know. I'm not the kind of person to chase after a girl with a boyfriend. So I'm like, whoa, that's my first mistake. I never asked this girl, and actually she's not the kind of girl I thought she was. I thought if she had been involved with someone, it's only one, but the thing she said after, like things she likes and she doesn't like, I'm like, this girl has a lot of experience. She already knows what she likes and what she doesn't like. I didn't know that yet. She was far more experienced than me. But that's not the problem. The problem is where I come from, where this story doesn't make sense to me. Because I think I come from a very conservative village environment where such topics like the size of your private organs is not something people speak about openly, and especially from a woman. I had always known, like, a woman. I know this is not in line with modernity, but forgive me for this. I grew up in a village, and this is what I saw happening. A woman was not supposed to talk about sex in any way, shape, or form. She was not supposed to express desire. I know nowadays women initiate sex, but that's not a thing that happens back in the village that I'm from. Have never had a woman complain or talk about the size of their husbands or their boyfriends' private organs. I have never had. They're not even allowed to say a man is handsome, no matter how the man looks. Like the woman's opinion when it comes to sexual matters does not really exist. A woman is a mystery as far as sex is concerned. No one is supposed to know what she likes. No one is supposed to know what she doesn't like. And even marriages and everything, the woman doesn't choose the kind of man she wants. It's the man who's supposed to find the woman. So you just sit there or stand and look beautiful to whatever men are willing to approach you, and then that's that. So this liberal nature of feeling like she commented. She said the sex was great, and I'm sure she was just flattering me. She said it was great, and I was wondering like when did this become normal for women to talk about sex like this, like they're enjoying and they're not, and when did it become the man's job to please a woman in bed? As far as I've heard and as far as I have known from my small village, I'm not generalizing this to every other village or any other city in this world. Just from my other village, like a woman is supposed to look like someone who doesn't really enjoy sex at all. Like they do it out of obligation. I guess that's the modest picture of a woman I had grown up with. Someone who just engages in sex because the husband wants to, not because she's looking for satisfaction. But in this new generation, I don't know whether these things have moved into the village or not. Like satisfying a woman in bed is a consideration that a man has to make. Am I able to satisfy her? And if she goes out of the relationship because you're not satisfying her, which she did later on, saying I was not doing enough. I wasn't in the mood enough times as she would have wanted, which I felt was outrageous. So a woman was not meant to like express how she feels. Like a woman was meant to be something like a mystery that a man is never able to solve for the entire life, especially when it comes to sex. When it comes to the physical even when it comes to physical attraction, women will not like stare at a man who is muscular, who looks manly with some beard or some afros. I don't know. I don't know what women like really. But you'll never see a woman express interest or look like she's having a crush. Like a woman having a crush is considered something despicable, something to be abhorred. Like not something attractive. Like a woman with a stone cold face who doesn't laugh at anyone's jokes, doesn't uh, is not too welcoming of men, and doesn't hug or even greet anyone. He just waves and all that. That's the kind of woman that was respected where I come from. It's like a woman who is devoid of any emotion. A woman who you would consider as a friend. Like even when interacting with members of the opposite sex, the men, the woman was expected to act like a friend, the way you have a female friend, even when they're interested in each other and when it's obvious they are good for each other. The relationship was expected to be portrayed outside like a friendship. And then there was always a separation between men and women, really hanging out. Two people of the different genders just hanging out alone and they are not in a relationship was considered something that is abhorred, I would say, something despicable. And even man and woman, like even my dad and my mom, they don't hang out together. They walk different. Like my dad walks like an hour ahead, and then when we get to church, they sit in different places. After we are done, my dad goes and hangs out with uh, the pastor or his co-workers, and my mom finds female friends to hang out. It's only in the evening when we are eating food that's when they will sit, and they don't even sit on the same seat. They sit on different seats and have some conversations. So I'm like, when did this generation change? It seems like I have not been updated. Like now I have to worry about satisfying a woman. I have never had that in my life. A woman complaining they are not sexually satisfied. That's an abomination. I think they would be excommunicated from the community if they started raising such kind of grievances. People would call them whores or prostitutes or just despicable human beings. The whole village would shun them. So a woman was trained to behave and look in a particular way. She was supposed to dress in a particular way. She was supposed to speak in a particular tone. She had her responsibilities well carved out, and whatever she could say and not say was well defined. even with other women. Like, you know, maybe it's not normal to complain about your sexual life as a woman to other men, but even with other women, whatever they talk about is just gossip, very non-sexually related gossip, gossip none the way. So things like people broke up, oh these people are fighting, oh these people stole someone's land, oh these people, most of them are even speculations. They're not things that really happened. They make up, you know, in the village, they make up so many stories. If you are seated in a among a group of women who are experts at gossip, because gossiping is an art, you're going to realize that they can spin stories out of nowhere. They can take 1 second of event. Maybe someone just turned their head and looked at someone, and a whole story will be spreading across the village that that person was maybe was eyeing someone or anything like that. And even among men, I know this is a common topic online, and mostly I absorb a lot of content from the West. It's normal for men to compare notes and talk about their experiences. I do come from an area where that is not the norm. Even men, like my dad discussing about his sex life with his wife with other men is not normal. It's really not. Even if they're dating, they're just boyfriend and girlfriend at that time. And I would like to say, in most cases, like this boyfriend girlfriend phase does not really exist where I'm from. You just switch from becoming friends, and you see each other very at very specific public locations where you cannot do anything, and then you separate ways until you get married. That's when you get to live with this person. But I know the society is changing and things are different right now. People tend to engage in fornication, I guess, way before they are married. But life is different. I think I received a major culture shock living in a city because are just so different. And I had to worry about it. Things that would never trouble me, because my first instinct when she tells me that I'm not satisfying her or that my private parts are not big enough for her, I resort to my village mindset. It tells me this girl is low quality, if I may say that. If she's feeling comfortable talking about this kind of thing, she's not the kind of respectable girl that I would like to have for myself. At least, at least that's how I feel. I know I have been liberalized a lot since that day. I know there are a lot of opinions I held that I no longer held, that I no longer hold now, 10 years later. But I must say, at the very moment when such a thing happens, you default to your childhood mindset, the mindset you've cultivated for almost 15 years of your life. It's it's a long time, and children grasp things and they keep things very deeply into their mind. They're able to grasp a lot of things very fast. As you grow older, you learn fewer and fewer things. I know they say you are smarter, but I feel like you're smarter the day you're born. You're able to you find a child living in a country where 4 languages are spoken, and within the first couple years, the child knows how to speak 4 languages. But try learning 4 languages in 2 years as a 30 or 40 or 50-year old. It's gonna be very hard. So I think children are smart, and that was put into me. So I still have the village mindset even now. I know I try to see things from a different perspective, but I can't bring myself to actually adopt this new way of life. Start seeing things the way they are. Like worrying about the size of my organs that I'm not satisfying sexually. And it's a deal breaker for a lot of people. I've seen interviews, people say it's a deal breaker. They ask if your partner is doing okay in every other sector, but they are not satisfying you sexually, would you continue staying with them? And these women are bold nowadays. They're going to say no. That's a deal breaker. I may have to cheat on the guy, so I would rather not involve myself. And they'll say like if someone is doing poorly in other areas but they're good in bed, they can tolerate that and try to teach them how to do the other things. So I guess this is a revolution of the 21st century, or the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas, that I might never get to understand. But yeah, that's my little rant on this topic. Thanks for watching and listening. It's been a nice time. Thank you.